Hello viewers, welcome to our TV program, Ayhan Astrology on Natural TV. I've been in Germany a long time, for about 5 months ago. I had been there, and we came back to Turkey, then we stayed in quarantine, and then I could come to the studios in Ankara. And hopefully, inshallah, we are going to talk about wonderful topics about astrology, faith and astrology. First, we will talk about Saturn in Aquarius and the reflections to COVID-19. And also we will talk sun eclipse, which had been occurred a few days ago. And let's start first, Saturn in Aquarius. As you know, our previous programs, I had talked about Saturn in Capricorn, and those years, starting from 2017 till 2019, end of 2019, the world economy was not in good position very long time, and before this, the periods Saturn in Capricorn in between 2017 and 2019, when we check 2015 and 2017, the Saturn was in Sagittarius. Those years, the terrorist organizations bombed many airports, and the tourists couldn't go freely everywhere. The security controls of the airports were very tight those years. Then we lived economical problems in between 2017 and 2019. Starting from 2019, when Saturn started entering Aquarius, then we started seeing some other difficulties about technology, some challenges about technology, and some people said this kind of problems of COVID-19 problems coming from 5G technologies, because of 5G technologies and its frequencies are affecting people's health, and also the flying birds are dying, they said, and this kind of allegations were flying away in the air since starting of this year, really. But beside all of this, what we can say about Islamic astrology, the east of Kaaba, as I told you before, it was Aquarius, and pointing China, and where the sun rises up, as you remember. East of Kaaba is the gate of Kaaba as well. That point in zodiac, it is 11th house, and 11th house is typically house of Aquarius. And when we look at China, and it's natal chart of China, the ascendant of China is also Aquarius. And when we look at China, China is a communist country, as you remember, and they say the communism refuses the existence of God. And also when we look at this, La ilaha is, the first translation of this is La ilaha, there are no gods. This is also atheistic entry, but illa Allah we say then after. That means except Allah. First we refuse every kind of fake gods. This is atheistic entry of Tawhid, and also we keep on going saying, accepting, except the God, except Allah. Allah is a correct translation. As you remember, I told you, Allah comes from El-Ilah in Arabic. And when we translate into English, this is the God, exactly, the God. That means one unique God. And when we look back again, China and Wuhan, and there was technology in there, as you remember. And the COVID virus came from and spread all around the world from that point of the world. And that point is also pointed by Kaaba's door is the Aquarius, is 11th house. And the China worked in discipline, so stopped COVID virus in China. But there's some other countries in the world, they are still suffering. In these summer days, virus a little bit stopped, but we have to be careful for the next year and the other year as well, because this COVID will cause in the future vaccinations. And they want to vaccinate everyone in the world, and of course they want to put inside just a little chip to track every person in the world whom they got contacted, and this kind of things, tracking them with the high technology. Everyone will be tracked very easily with the cameras and also with the signals as well, and because of this virus they are saying. And in fact, when we look at this virus killed many elderly people in the world. Elderly people died, and many governments are happy also, because they don't want to pay pension money, and that is why they are very happy about this COVID. For instance, when we look at some European countries, for instance Spain, Holland and UK, many elderly people died, and unfortunately many shelters of the elderly people are evacuated because of COVID causing deaths, casualties. And the most asked question to me, how long will it take, this COVID? Is it going to end this year, or will it affect again next year? I have to warn everyone, these 3 years long, because Saturn will be in Aquarius. Then that means technology and the matter of technology will be at the top. And virus 19, maybe virus 20, maybe COVID 20 or 21 may come again. And but in any case, we have to be very careful about that. I kindly request the countries in Africa to plans to give some areas for agriculture, and everyone must help their neighbors these days, because a lot of jobless people are suffering at the moment. And these days, the one point is very important, to think our neighbors. If our neighbors are suffering, and this is not good, because we are going to be questioned by the Lord of the universe when we die. And so I request everyone to share their bread to their neighbors, to friends, and this is a very important point. And the east of Kaaba is, as I told you, 11th house, pointing these words in Arabic language as well. Jam, Jami, or Juma, Jama, Jumhur, and Jumhuriyah. These, when we translate these all words, the basis of these words are really pointing out to be together, to work together, to be together against every kind of difficulty. Solidarity is Jam, Jami, Juma, Jumhur, Jumhuriyya. These words are very important. When we look at the opposite, similarity, synonyms of these words in Latin, and also we can see the track in English language, common, company, community, communism, is all saying to be together, to share these kind of things, of course. And 11th house is pointing China, is pointing to be together, to be strong together. The world can overcome this kind of difficulties together. But When we look at the streets, unfortunately, we see a lot of mosques. People are taking the mosques and throwing into the street, and after the rains and the winds are taking all these mosques to the sea. And after that, the sea is by the waves and taking to the shores, and we can see terrible views at the seashores, really, unfortunately. We have to be very clean. We have to be careful about throwing something into the street, because all of them are going to the seas and killing the fish and the animals in the sea, really. We mustn't forget, Rajim, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, is the first word, sentence in Quran. And the rajim, as I told you before, has got two meanings: to be stoned and to stone. To be stoned, to be a stone as well. To be a stone means irresponsibility, saying it's not none of my business. Saying like this is, to be like a stone. Having a stone heart is a rajim, rajim. And also another translation is to be stoned. That means when we are immoral, the first Arabs understood because they were stoned when they were immoral. And we have to have the moral values each other. And we have to think more about that. That is why we say A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim first, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim secondly, because we have to be responsible. We have to have moral values first, then we can say and we can have right to start with by the name of the Lord of the universe, most compassionate and most merciful, Rahman ar-Rahim. And of course, there are a lot of symbols, a lot of things to read in the world about that. But we have to see very well, we have to look at detailedly. Then we can see these wonderful points after thinking. Anyway, how long will it take? It apparently really, the Saturn is going to be in Saturn 3 years long, till 2023. So that means we have to be very careful about these kind of illnesses, these kind of sicknesses. Then we have to help each other, and also we have to think each other also. Then we can overcome this illness side by side, shoulder to shoulder, then we can do it. Turkey realized its responsibility, sending many countries, including African countries, mosques and other medical gadgets like respiration machines, this kind of things. Turkey sent all these things from United States till Spain, to also France. Turkey sent also Italy, these kind of things, also African countries as well, because Turkey is not following imperialist aims, neither in United States, nor in Africa, neither in Middle East, nor in European Union. And what I can say, we should know to be careful. We should be very careful these 3 years. And the agriculture and growing things will be very important following years. And Africa has got wonderful fertile lands, really. So Africa can use this chance, can take this chance very well, can improve their good products and sell other countries, because Africa has got organic lands, organic fertile earth, clean water, really. And this is very important point. And let's talk about sun eclipse. On the 21st of June, there was sun eclipse in the horoscope Cancer in the 1st degree. So what is the reflection of sun eclipse to the horoscopes? one point is very important about finding the results. Many astrologers don't say this, but your degree is very important. For instance, the first degree of Cancer, where it is located in your birth chart, then commands can be done according to this data. Otherwise, there can be mistakes commenting things. Considering that this first degree and the standard commands, I can give you information about that. This eclipse, Asma al-Husna, is, Rahman. And also we can say Rahim as well, Rahman al-Rahim, because it was inside of Cancer. And the important, very important Asma al-Husnas of Cancer are Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, the correct translation in English language, the compassionate and most merciful. And also, every eclipse ends one thing, opens another thing. And the emotions about homes, emotions about our loved countries will be questioned by ourselves following days. And starting from Aries, how is it going to be reflected? Let's see it. Aries is has seen this eclipse in the 4th house, and the family affairs, family issues are very important for Aries. And I recommend them to recite names of gods, the Rahman Rahim, Ya Rahman wa Rahim, in Isha prayer. And in Isha prayer, reciting these names are very important, because this is going to erase negative sides of the eclipse and will bring the positive ones to our lives. And so the Aries will find the positive sides in family life. When we look at the Taurus, they are going to see these relations with the brothers. And but the praying time and reciting these Asma al-Husna in between 1 and 3 midnight, after midnight, and Ya Rahman wa Rahim, translation is, oh, the most compassionate and the most merciful, Jalla Jalaluhu. These names are going to attract to solve the problems with the brothers or brother-like people, sisters or sister-like people, and then the solutions will be very easy. And Gemini, when we look at Gemini, they're going to try to solve their problems on financial issues. And when they recite the names of God, especially morning prayer, before the sunrise, together with Ya Samad wal Karim wal Ghani wal Razak, these names are standard for the morning time. And calling with the eclipse, Rahman al-Rahim, together with them is going to create a wonderful universal energy to collect to the financial issues and the matter. And when we look at Cancer, they have to recite these names before the sunrise, about 30 or 40 minutes before, earlier. Rahman al-Rahim, and also Aziz Mu'iz names. Aziz Mu'iz, when we translate into English, Aziz is the highest. Mu'iz is the making someone higher. Because the God can change our positions according to our intentions, really. And when we look at Leo, they're going to see this mainly in their spiritual life, especially after the sunrise, if they call the name of God, As-Salam, Rahman ar-Rahim, together all these, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, Ya Rahman ar-Rahim, wa Salam, Jalla Jalaluhu, these names are going to make them very happy. And also, as you remember, a few programs ago, when you touch your heart and if you make a circumambulation around of your heart and saying, after rubbing your heart and saying, oh my Lord, please give sakina, please give peace into my heart, then you're going to feel really a big peace in your heart. Normally people are looking for happiness in this world, but as I told you before, the peace is more important than happiness. Happiness is not always, not forever, but the peace in the heart is much more important. Generally, when people are earning money, they are happy. But when we give with the other people, then especially the people, those in need, then we feel really peace in our hearts. And I recommend Leo people to recite these three names, Ya Salam, War-Rahman Ar-Rahim. These three names are going to bring them peace into their hearts. And then also when we look at Virgo, they're going to live the changes and the challenges in friendship house, 11th house, and I recommend them to recite names in between 9 o'clock and 11 o'clock in the morning time. This is Kuşluk Vakti in Turkish, but that means, Kuşluk means the bird flying time or something. But this part is the mainly house of Aquarius, and the mind works hard, efficiently in the morning time in between 9 o'clock and 11 o'clock. That is why many students who are studying in the morning time in between these hours are much more successful, really. They are much more successful than any students who study in the afternoon, because in the afternoon that period is not efficient time for creating opportunity for learning better. And between 9 and 11 is very important, really, and the Virgo people should say Ya Alim wal Hakim wal Rahman wal Rahim. They're going to much more efficient decisions, really, when they do this. And if they have got problems with their friends, they can easily solve these problems with their friends, really. And these recited names of the Lord will ease their their problems. And when we look at Libra, they're going to see the challenges and also changes in their 10th house, and then that means they're going to be careful about their career. They will have maybe new changes, new opportunities about new work, new offers about work, and I recommend them. They should take the chance, and after they should take some steps. But there, Asmaul Husna to recite. These are again, Ya Aziz Wal Mu'iz Wal Muqaddim. These names are very important to have higher position about career, and Rahman ar-Rahim can be recited again. And the Scorpio, when we look at Scorpio, they are going to see some changes and challenges on their at their 9th house, and this house is about abroad or languages, foreign countries. Turkey is Scorpio. So Turkey will have to explain some important issues to other countries, to France, to other Eastern Mediterranean countries, because they are trying to take Turkey's exclusive economical area in the Middle East, really, because Turkey has got the longest shore in Middle East, and but some countries in the Middle East, they are trying to take Turkey's rights, and they are trying to steal Turkey's right in the sea, because Eastern Mediterranean area is full of gas and energy sources. And Turkey will have to do about that to explain the international rights also, because those countries don't want to listen Turkey's rights. When we look at Sagittarius, they're going to see their challenges and changes on the 8th house on the natal chart. So the 8th house reflecting courts, reflecting inheritances, reflecting some challenges in marriage economy. And I recommend them, especially in the afternoon, Asr pray. Then they have to recite the names of God about revise their rights on 8th house, reciting Rahman ar-Rahim in the afternoon. Asr is very important chapter from Quran, should be recited inside of Asr prayer. And Capricorn, they're going to feel their changes and challenges on their marriage, really, because this eclipse is in their 7th house, and they are going to ask this question: is it okay or not okay for this marriage? They're going to question their marriages. So if they want to keep on protecting their marriage, they should recite Ya Vedud Vel Jami Rahman Rahim Jalla Jalaluhu. These Asma al-Husnas are going to keep them in the mood to protect their marriages, really. But if they are fed up with their marriages, if they want to end it, if their loves are over, they have to finish that kind of marriage, because without love, nothing can be efficient. Okay, Aquarius. Aquarius should be careful about their health and the work as well. And I recommend them after the sun goes down, after about 30 minutes after the sun goes down, evenings, they should recite Ya Shafi wal Hafiz wal Rahman wal Rahim. This is for health. But if they recite Ya Rahman wal Rahim wal Muqaddim wal Hasib, these are very important points for their works they do. And that is, the God is, inshallah, will speak them about that. And lastly, Pisces. Pisces is going to see some changes and challenges about few topics. One of them is love, another one is children. If they want to open new doors, new gates for their love, or they're going to finish one love and they're going to start another one these days. And also, if they are married, they're going to approach their children with the parenthood mood, and that is going to be much more efficient, really. And this year, in 2020, Capricorn is going to wrap its wounds, really, because they were wounded very much last 3 years, starting from 2017 till 2019. Inshallah, they're going to ease their wounds again this year. And they must take the chance. They mustn't lose any opportunity. I'm sounding the Capricorn especially. 2020 will bring, inshallah, much more kismet, much more nasib for them. Thank you very much for being with us. I kindly request you to follow our social media accounts. On YouTube, Natural TV, we have videos. After broadcast, our friends are loading these videos on them. And if you can watch all of them on YouTube. Natural TV, Faith and Astrology, Ayhan Özcimbit. Thank you very much for being with us.